Hi, and welcome to the general pick a card reading for Monday, March 18th, 2019. So what we look at in these general readings is what the energy is going to be for the next 7 days, the dynamics, what are the themes, make some predictions, and try to figure out what to expect in the next 7 days. All right, guys? I post these every Monday. They are timeless, so you don't necessarily have to watch it for the corresponding week. I just post them every Monday so that those who do will have a new one. So if you're watching this 3 years from now, it's just going to apply to the next 7 days, okay? That said, let's go ahead and point out which pile is which. The pink flower is pile number 1. Pile number 2 is the yellow flower. Pile number 3 is the black flower. Pile number 4 is the green flower. Pile number 5 is the red flower. And pile number 6 is the blue flower. So while you guys are picking the pile that you want to for this week, I do want to say that this week only I am not going to be posting a video on Tuesday or Thursday. It's just because my kids are home from school. It's spring break and we're going to be doing some family things, so I apologize in advance, but I'll go back to my normal schedule next week. You will get the mini reading on Wednesday and the general love reading on Friday, though. Also, anything you need to know about me is in that description. I won't waste any of your time and go over everything that's there, but basically if you need to contact me, it's there. If you have any questions, it's going to be in the description, okay? That said, let's go ahead and start with pile number 1. As always, I'm just moving these piles out of the way so we can get a nice space here to spread out these cards. All right, hi pile number 1. Those of you who picked the pink flower, let's see what your week looks like. And I can already say very, very positive. Okay, we have the money card and the luck. Okay, so you're going to get lucky with money or lucky with abundance, okay? We also have the lovers. We have the 10 of coins. Again, that's reiterating that luck with money, okay? And then we have the king of wands. So you've got passion and you've got money, and then you've got the lovers, and look at this, you've got the sun. So you guys are gonna have a great week. I don't even know what I could possibly say other than the sun shows you that you're going to be very, very happy this week, okay? The sun, you know, when it comes up, it symbolically shows that you're going to be happy. It also shows that you're going to be going through some growth. Those of you who might be kind of like about to maybe like let's see here, how do I say it? Like go through some kind of initiation, you know, maybe like your first piano recital, or maybe you're going to join a spiritual community or something like that. The sun shows that, reflects that you're growing as a person in that way, right? Doesn't necessarily have to be spiritual, but generally it is. The sun is also talking about bringing things to light. So things are going to be very honest this week, okay? You're going to be seeing the truth. You're going to be seeing true. It's not going to be so shadowy. You're probably going to be sleeping very well this week as well. And then we've got the lovers. This is, you know, this is about a divine loving connection. It doesn't necessarily have to be between two people in a romantic situation, but usually it is, okay? It doesn't necessarily have to be male, female either. For those of you who are attracted to a member of the same sex, you know, it doesn't, it's just showing the partnership, basically. If you do not have someone in your life, somebody new might come in. If that's not really your thing right now, if that's not what you're focused on, this could also represent a business partner, okay? Generally, it represents love, though, okay? The 10 of Pentacles talks about financial abundance, positivity. You have enough. You have enough and more to buy whatever you want, basically. And then you've got the King of Wands, and the King of Wands is all about really going with your passion, taking action, the things that you really believe in, you feel strongly about. The King of Wands is the most mature of all of the different wand suit, okay, of this wand suit. And So the King of Wands is not only takes action, but he takes measured action. He knows that he's going to be effective. So this character coming up is either representing you or representing somebody in your life. And either way, when you get the King of Wands energy, it's a really positive energy because it sparks creativity, and it sparks passion, and it sparks conviction. It's really about your moral compass. I've found, okay, now not everybody's going to necessarily agree with me, who understand the tarot and what it traditionally stands for, and that's fine. It's just that that's the way that I interpret it in this spread right now. Now, you know, fish in the Lenormand stand for money. It can also stand for abundance, same way that the pentacles, right? It cannot, like, unlike the pentacles, it can't stand for earth, you know, because they're in the water, obviously. But fish represent abundance, okay, and especially money. So when you've got that next to the four-leaf clover represents a little bit of luck. Shows that you're going to be lucky somewhere with abundance there, okay, which is mirrored here with the Ten of Pentacles. So really, you guys got a great week coming. I just, I would say the next 7 days are going to be very positive for you. All right. Hi, those of you who picked pile number 2, the yellow flower. Let's look at what's going on for you. All right. So we have the bear and the birds. Okay. We've got the Ace of Cups. We have the Knight of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles. Okay. I'm starting to see a story here. And then we have indecision. Okay. Makes some sense. Alrighty, so when we have the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles right here, right, we've got a new beginning when it comes to relationships, and a new beginning when it comes to some kind of financial endeavor or some kind of material endeavor, okay? It's something in the physical realm, okay? Materials, usually it stands for finance. Something like this could be a new business partner, for example, okay? And I'm saying that because here we've got the bear. The bear sometimes represents power. Well, it does represent power, but it sometimes represents going into business for oneself. It can represent somebody who is starting their own business. And when you've got the bear paired with the birds here, it shows that either the business is being talked about or that there's some kind of partnership there, okay? So that's why I'm saying that, because we've got another symbol that's really similar over here. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to enter into some kind of partnership in work. This is just showing, not only are you going to be focusing a lot on love, love and relationships, new relationships too, or new energies in your relationships. You're also going to be focusing a lot on new opportunities when it comes to your finances. So this week is going to be about new things, okay? The Knight of Wands, you've got an energy that's very similar to the one that I read previous to you guys, in that you have this impassioned individual who is going out, taking action, and really getting behind something he or she believes in, okay? So I think that these go together really nicely. Whatever this new thing is, you're going to have a strong opinion about it. So you'll know what it is, because it's going to ignite that fire inside of you. We do have this indecision. That's normal when we get something new. In fact, the aces are always followed by the twos, obviously, chronologically. And so, when you've got indecision, you've got, when you get to the next card in each suit, it's always about either partnership or indecision, or usually both, right? It's about needing to make a choice. So that's okay. It might mean that this week you're not supposed to make a decision. So if there's something that you've been kind of pressured about, like people are pressuring you to make a decision about it, or you're pressuring yourself and you feel like you really need to get this thing done, don't worry if it doesn't happen this week. It doesn't look like it's supposed to happen this week. And then I've already kind of interpreted this, but I want to kind of throw in some more because I don't feel like my initial interpretation is going to apply to all of you guys. This is talking about power and people talking about power, okay? This is talking about, this could represent your own personal power. Yes, it can represent going into business for yourself as well. It can also represent getting into divine feminine power. And the reason I say that is because of the mother bear kind of association with bears, okay? Bears tend to be associated with more matronly, they tend to be more feminine in myth, okay? So I do want to mention that, okay? And this is also about being very rational as well, okay? The birds can represent rumors, yes, but it generally just represents talking about something. And this could be talking about you being in power, so you might be able to find a community where you talk about some new things that are going on, because this kind of energy right here is very empowering when you have something new, right? So you might feel compelled to talk to somebody about it or talk to multiple people about it. It's generally a small group with the birds, okay? Another card is the garden, where it's a bigger group. Or it could be that just you overhear a few people talking about something that will remind you of this, okay? It can also mean rumors, like I said. I don't feel like that's going to apply to most of you. I don't even feel like it's going to apply to any of you, but I just do want to mention that, just in case. But yeah, this looks really positive though. The indecision might feel uncomfortable just because when we have two opposing things, it can feel uncomfortable. It causes cognitive dissonance, and that can be kind of frustrating. But just try as best as you can not to stress about doing something about it. Think about it more like you're meant to take action, and the action you're meant to take is to wait for that decision to present itself. Okay? That should, yeah, that should be the, a really good way of looking at it. And yeah, you've got a pretty positive week going on. I mean, you've got some new stuff coming and everything, so it doesn't look like it's going to be a negative week at all. So I would say enjoy it. All right, those of you who picked the black flower, pile number 3, here's your reading. Now, this hardly ever happens. But I actually have a different amount of cards for you guys than I do for the others. And again, this really rarely happens. So, anyway, it came up in the Lenormand. So we have the coffin, then we have the anchor, and then we have the child. This is a very clear meaning to me, but let me go ahead and lay out the other cards. We've got the King of Swords. We have the 8 of Cups, and we have the Devil. And then we have the second chakra, which is represented in this deck by the Archangel Ariel. I just want to mention that. Okay, so when we have the Devil and the sacral chakra right here, okay, the second chakra, the sacral chakra, this kind of like lets me know that there's some kind of sexuality going on here. The Devil does tend to kind of bring up the kind of, it kind of stands for that impulse, pleasure principle sometimes. And of course, the pleasure principle is associated with repressed sexual feelings and all of that kind of stuff. And then when we've got the second chakra, which is so rooted in that kind of primal energy, that kind of desire, the kind of sexual energy, we've got 2 cards that are reinforcing sexual, pleasureful things. So what I wanted to say about this is, if this is talking about some kind of addiction or talking about some kind of excess, try to kind of rein that in. I mean, I'm not going to tell you not to have fun, but I do want to mention that this lets me know that there's that potential this week for something to get a little out of control when it comes to something that's a little bit morally ambiguous, okay? Something that maybe, some people might not think some people might not agree with. And I think that most of you guys probably know exactly what I'm talking about. But if it's not that, then I think for most of you that don't know what I'm talking about, it's going to be just, there's a lot of sexual energy surrounding you right now. So just be aware of that. Okay. Back to the King of Swords and the 8 of Cups. This is a very clear picture for me. We've got the King of Swords in his ration, in his mind. You're going to be in your mind a lot because you're going to make a decision this week to walk away from something that is not serving you emotionally. Now, this doesn't mean that it's going to have to be something huge. Maybe you don't feel fulfilled in your relationship and you're like, oh, this week I'm going to leave that person. Maybe that's not what I'm talking about. Maybe what I'm talking about is something very simple. It's like, I don't know, maybe when you go to the store, there's always somebody you check out with who's always in such a horrible mood and you just hate being around that person. So you decide that either you're not going to go to that store anymore or that you're going to always go through a different register, right? I mean, it could be something as small as that. It could be something as big as, you know what, I'm going to cut this parent out of my life because this parent is really toxic for me, or my friend who's really toxic for me, or it could just be the ending to something that's been giving you a lot of emotional turmoil. The bottom line here, though, is that we've got the King of Swords paired with this getting away from emotional toxicity, which lets me know that you're going to be really in that analytical mind this week, okay? Let's talk about this now. So we've got a clear ending, right? Then we've got something that's anchoring you into reality, right? And then we've got a new beginning. I think that that's great for you guys. This is going to be, this week, you're going to go from something ending. It might have to do with this getting away from this emotional thing, okay? It really might. But you'll have a clear ending to something. Then you'll feel really anchored to reality. There's that King of Swords energy, okay? That real cold logic, you know, kind of more tactile, right, than abstract, you know, something that anchors you down, you know, and then this new beginning, this something new that's going to fill all of this stuff up, okay? Something new that's not going to make this energy here feel so strong. You're not going to feel pulled on as much by this energy by the end of the week, okay? The beginning of the week, maybe. At the beginning of the week, you might feel just completely out of control when it comes to this kind of pleasure principle, this kind of giving in to desire, that kind of thing. But by the end of the week, you're going to at least have something new to fill whatever that hole is that this is filling instead, okay? And I do want to mention, because I don't want to be unclear, that for some of you guys, this is going to be outside of you. This is going to be in the external world, not the internal world, okay? So instead of looking at this as, oh, well, then I'm going to want to do something that's negative, or I'm going to want to do something that's socially taboo, or something like that. That's not what I mean. I just mean, around you, maybe you'll notice that maybe multiple people are interested in you sexually, or multiple people start offering you, I don't know, drugs or alcohol, or just whatever it is, okay? That's just, those are just the first things that come to mind, okay? It's just that, you know, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to say that you're going to just suddenly decide that you want to do something horrible, you know, or that you're going to decide you want to do something that up until this point you find unacceptable in some way. I'm just saying that that energy is going to be around you, okay? Either within you or on the outside, okay? Alrighty, guys, so this looks really interesting. Yeah, really interesting. I'm kind of interested in your stories if you care to share. All right, pile number 4. I almost called you 3. Those of you who picked the green flower. We have the mice and we have the bouquet. So I just want to say that the mice kind of eat away at the bouquet. Okay, you might notice that something that you were gifted might be starting to get old and ragged. Like you might need to clean it up. Like let's pretend like you were given a gift of jewelry. Maybe you need to polish the jewelry. Or maybe somebody gave you like a gift certificate and you decide that you're going to use the gift certificate this week, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be positive, or it doesn't necessarily have to be negative. It doesn't have to be that things are eating away at it, therefore you have less of it. It just means that you're going to be using something that's been a gift, okay? We have the Ten of Cups. This talks about family and romance, okay? So you're going to have really positive things happening either in your family or in romance or both. We've got the Hermit energy though, and the 7 of Coins. This lets me know that you're going to be reflecting a lot too, okay? There might be a time this week where you're not going to really know what you're going to be doing in the material world. That might feel really scary, but we do have this cornucopia coming. And the cornucopia tells me that this is going to be resolved. Whatever it is that you're reflecting about when it comes to this, right here, the 7 of Pentacles energy, where you're kind of taking stake, you're kind of looking at your, you're kind of looking at the material world and like, okay, how am I going to manage this and all of that? It's gonna come through to you, okay? Some of you guys who live in the United States, you might be getting your like if you have a tax return coming, you might be getting it this week, for example. Some of you guys who are kind of stuck in a financial situation might find a way out. You know, it's just some kind of, it's some kind of gift, yeah, that you're going to be able to use. Just like we've got the mice using this gift, you know, you're going to be able to use that kind of gift. So yeah, I mean, just know that there's going to be something coming that's going to resolve that for you. Now, the Hermit energy is more about self-reflection in general. Okay, so you might still feel a little broody or still feel a little reflective. It doesn't necessarily have to be negative. It doesn't have to be about brooding. It can be about fantasizing and all sorts of things like that. It's just that kind of introverted, withdrawn energy. You know, I don't feel like it's a sullen energy. I don't feel like it's negative. I just feel like it's more like, okay, I got to work on myself this week. Not a problem. You will have some interaction, though. I mean, you'll have some stuff going on with your family or in a romance. Okay? Alrighty. Alright, those of you who picked the red flower, pile number 5, here is your reading. Okay, so we've got the broom and whip, and we've got the key. Here we've got the High Priestess, the 8 of Pentacles, and Strength. I decided to put these together because they're both major arcana. And then we've got Community. All right, guys. So what I see of you doing right now this week is working with the community. Okay, the 8s can sometimes hint at obsession. So do understand. Some of you guys might feel a little bit. For example, like workaholics, for example, that might be what it is here. It could also be somebody who it feels a little overly, oh goodness, like in their earth energy, basically is what I'm trying to say, in the material world. Somebody who, I don't know, might want to, I don't know, have more sex this week, or somebody who might want to clean out their closet, like really obsessively, you know, that sort of thing, okay? But we also have this community card, which lets me know that, you know, you're also out there and you're spending time with other people, okay? So it's going to be a pretty social week for you. The reason I mentioned the 8s, I didn't say, Strength is also an 8, and Strength is about managing the beast, right? I mean, and that can be very difficult. You have to put your whole, like if you have a lion right in front of you, okay, just think about it. If you have a lion in front of you and you're trying to make sure it doesn't bite you and you're taming, I would assume that most of you, if not all of you, would put 100% of your body, your mind, and your heart into trying to figure out how to make sure that animal doesn't basically go crazy, right? That's what the 8's about. It's about that kind of obsessive, that kind of hyper focus. That's probably a better word, hyper focus rather than obsession. That goes into really managing a situation. Now, I don't think that this Strength card is talking so much about that hyper focus with you guys as much as it's talking about being able to communicate on multiple levels, okay? Which is why I think the community is coming up with this. Also, you've got the High Priestess, so you're going to be in tune with your intuitive energy. You're going to be connected to your unconscious, so you will be speaking even internally on multiple different layers, okay? Just like, you know, when we've got the Strength card, we've got the human aspect and the beast aspect of it. Those of you who are interested in analytical psychology, specifically Freud, might be interested in the idea of the superconscious and the unconscious, or the superego and the id as represented by the woman and the beast there. In the same way that the High Priestess talks about being conscious of the unconscious. So over here with the whip and broom and the key, I think there's something that you're going to be doing routinely, something that's normal, something that you always do, and you're going to have an aha moment. You're going to have a moment where you get an answer to something that you've been really working out in your mind. Maybe it's been something that you were working out and then you kind of put it on the shelf, and but you're going to be getting an aha moment. I think that's also connected to the High Priestess energy, with having that intuitive energy really alive. I also want to say for this group, you guys might be especially sensitive to the full supermoon that's going to be happening on the 20th of this week. Don't usually mention astrological events. I try to kind of steer away from astrology because I'm not an astrologist at all, but As somebody who is affected very much by the moon energy, I do want to mention that, you know, when we've got the High Priestess, we've got that connection to the moon. So if you feel a little funky around the 20th, that's one possible reason, okay? That's gonna be true for some of you and totally not true for others, and I'm acknowledging that. I just wanted to say it for those of you that it is true for, all right? Okay, so that looks like a pretty good week. All right, hi, pile number 6. Those of you who picked the blue flower, here's your reading. Oh gosh, we've got good, everybody's gotten a good week this week. I'm so glad. Now I don't feel so bad about how I'm not going to be uploading as many videos. Oh, look at that. I didn't even see this one when I first said that too. That's awesome. Okay, so we have the Wheel of Fortune, the 9 of Wands, and the 4 of Swords. We have the Dog, the Tower, and the Angel of Love. That's great. Where to begin? Okay, so your luck's going to be looking way up this week, okay? You're about to feel like by next week, you're going to be feeling really like moved to do something that's like very meaningful to you, maybe very creative, or maybe a display of some. Right now, you're going to be more in a restful mode though. With the Tower over here, I see also that you're going to be feeling more isolated, more introverted this week. That's okay, because we also have the Friend here. We've got somebody who's very loyal to you that you're going to be talking to a lot this week. And that person actually might be what the Angel of Love is referring to and what the Wheel of Fortune is referring to. It's just, if you have a really, really close friend that you have romantic feelings for and you're in this pile, this person is probably going to make some kind of statement that lets you know that they have feelings for you this week, or gives you that indication that they have feelings for you this week, okay? I mean, like, but it's going to be something that hasn't been done before. It hasn't been said before, okay? But like, yeah, I mean, you're feeling like you're on top of things. It feels like the last couple of weeks, maybe you didn't really feel like you're on top of things. It felt like you were scrambling maybe, or something like that. And the Wheel of Fortune's telling me, oh, okay, you're going to feel like you're on top of things. You're going to feel like things are good. You're going to be having this kind of equal balance between this like introverted time and also connecting, and you're going to be feeling kind of inspired, you know, and you're going to be feeling like on the brink of, gosh, something really good is just around the corner. And it's like that song by Kate Bush called Cloud Busting, where she goes, ooh, I know something good's about to happen. Now, I wouldn't necessarily recommend you listen to this song if you've never heard of Kate Bush. She can be a little shrill, but those of you who have know exactly what I'm talking about, right? But it's the lyrics to that song. It's kind of like, ooh, I can just feel something good's about to happen. That's what this card feels like for me. Sometimes I just don't know how to explain it other than like through a song lyric or something like that. But as long as I get the message across, that's what I care about. But yeah, I mean, this is great. I mean, I love, like, every single one of these readings has been very positive, and you guys have a great one. Actually, full disclosure, this was the one that I picked, so I'm really glad about that. Yeah. So you guys enjoy your week as well. All right, guys. So thanks for watching my video to the end. I'm so excited. I got another milestone here. We've got 14,000 subscribers plus. And I'm just so excited. I mean, seriously, I'm so happy and I'm so excited about all of the support, all of the love, all of the comments, all of the likes, the emails that I get from you guys, the readings that I get to do, and all of that kind of stuff. You guys are so great at reinforcing that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and I thank you so much, because I wouldn't be doing this. It wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for you. I love our community, and I just look forward to it growing more and more, and I see it growing more and more, and I just think that's great. So thank you so much, and I will see you on Wednesday with the Wednesday mini pick a card reading.